Hi, I'm Greg, your car angel. In this video, I'll be doing a review on a first generation Mazda Miata MX-5, which ran between the years 1990 to 1998. I'll do a full review and then we'll take it for a test drive. Now, the 1970s had many great two-seater, front-engine, rear-wheel drive roadsters that were being produced. You had the Lotus Elan, which the Mazda Miata probably took the most cues from, but you had the Triumph Spitfire. You had the Fiat Spider, the Alfa Romeo Spider, and you had the MGB. Of those cars, only the Alfa Romeo was in production when Mazda released the original Miata in 1990. There were two design teams competing for the final design of the Miata. One was from Kyoto, Japan, and the other one was from California. The Japanese team were concentrating on a front-engine, front-wheel drive car. They were also going for a mid-engine, rear-wheel drive car, but the California team was going for a front-engine, rear-wheel drive car, and they are the ones that won. So it was a dicey proposition for Mazda to introduce a two-seater roadster when just about every other manufacturer had given up on the idea. What separated the Mazda Miata from those other cars is Japanese quality. It was engineering simplicity together with easy maintenance. So 1990 to 98 was the first gen, but it was 94 that the substantial design improvements happened. And those design improvements were really all about the 1.8 liter engine, which was much better fit for the Miata. And then you had chassis strengthening, which made the driving of this car a much better experience, as well as the limited slip differential. And you also had the critical addition of the dual airbags. Now, the way to tell the difference between a 1993 and a 94 is by looking at the badge on the rear of the Miata. And you'll see that the writing on the 94 is in red. The writing on the 93 was in black. The characteristic that most defines the first generation Mazda Miata were the pop-up headlights, otherwise known as the barnyard doors. Now, these lights were not part of the original design. In fact, they were trying to do this integrated contoured design in the original, but the technology wasn't proving enough to pull that off, at least for the Miata, and they opted to go with the pop-up. Now, this light was from the parts bin of the RX-7. Got reskinned, but the guts of it are from the RX-7. So Mazda chose to go that way, but later they abandoned this because it was proven that these headlights were not pedestrian safe. The pop-up headlights added weight, cost, and a bit of complexity. So Mazda, even though these were popular, they ditched them in the second generation. But a lot of people really like these headlights, partly because of the originality of the design, but also you can install large, powerful halogens on the first gen, where you cannot do that on the second generation headlights. Now, as you can see, folding the top down is about as easy as it can get. And it's one of the few, if not the only car I know to be able to put the top up from a sitting position by one person. Now, inside the Miata, you'll see that the interior is very well appointed, simple, nice and elegant design. It has some quirky features though, beginning with the speakers in the headrest. Great idea. I don't know why more manufacturers aren't doing that, especially in convertibles where the sound is right where you need it to be. The other thing is this interesting sun visor configuration. Now, you can see that it actually comes down into two parts. It folds down, and when you fold it all the way, you'll see that it impedes almost the entire windshield, especially if you turn on the pop-up headlights. That's kind of, in the end, unusable. Another interesting quirk about the Miata is that there's no dome light mounted up here, nor is there one mounted on the soft top. The only light that you have is over here. Now, this one, when you get in the car at night, only really illuminates this part down here, but doesn't give you any satisfaction up in this area where you probably need it the most. So for how small this car is, it fits tall people very comfortably. I'm 6'2". I fit very nicely in this car. The 5-speed transmission in this car is wonderful. It's slick, it's smooth, it's on point, but if you were to go to the automatic transmission, you'd be very disappointed. It's a dreadful experience, so stay away from the automatic transmission. This particular Mazda Miata MX-5 has just 36,000 miles on it, so for its age, it has very low miles. The first generation came in 3 packages, which were the base model designated the A package. Then you had the B package, which included power windows, cruise control, and the headrest speaker. And the C package, which is what this is, included the tan leather interior and the soft top. The Miata does not have many weaknesses, but I can tell you one that I see a lot in the Miata inspections that I do. And it's that seam right there. Now that's a stitch seam between the bolster and the seat, and it's a weakness that's not easy to fix. It's not like it's a tear in the seat where you can just simply go in and reupholster or repair it. So it's a big job, but that's a small inconvenience overall for a car that's as well put together and easy to maintain as the Miata is. What makes the Miata such an outstanding car is its incredible balance through the curves. It has a perfect 50-50 ratio so that when you're going around curves, you feel like you're on the exact center point of a pivot. And that makes it a very predictable experience as you're pushing your way through the curve. There's no understeer, there's no oversteer, it's perfectly balanced. I'd much rather drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. Driving a fast car slow is boring. Driving a fast car fast is exciting, but driving a slow car fast is really exciting. It has the feel of always pushing the edge on regular roads. So the Miata really has that characteristic that you always feel like you're engaging the car fully, even though you're not really going that fast. But it's a really nice experience. The incredible thing about the Miata is how it feels, especially when you're going through turns. It feels very cat-like. This car will not win any awards for sprinting, but it's in the turns that you get that feel that it's incredibly agile. It just can pivot on a dime, and it has that complete balance all the way through the turn. It's really an incredible feeling car. At $14,000 when new, the Mazda Miata was a lot of car for your money. As a used car, it's still a great car to buy because you're going to pick it up at a great price. There's still a lot of them on the road, and they're very easy to maintain. So thumbs up on the Mazda Miata as a used car purchase. It does show up on my Halo list, which is all the best used cars to buy. I'm Greg, your car angel. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.